Join me, 48 Hours correspondent Erin Moriarty, on my podcast, My Life of Crime, as I take on true crime investigations like no other. This season, I'm looking into the labyrinth of crime and secrets within families. I'm cutting straight to the evidence and talking to the people directly involved, including investigators and the families of victims. Listen to My Life of Crime with Erin Moriarty wherever you get your podcasts.
This episode is brought to you by Marvel Studios Echo. All episodes streaming January 9th, only on Hulu and Disney+. Rated TV MALV. Viewer discretion advised. Maya Lopez has betrayed her mentor, the notorious Kingpin. Now on the run, she returns to her hometown to prepare for the biggest fight of her life. Don't miss Marvel Studios' hardest-hitting series yet. An epic 5-episode event. Marvel Studios Echo. All episodes streaming January 9th, only on Hulu and Disney+.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Caroline, you should tell them about the newest thing that Bloody Happy Hour is doing.
A Patreon.
It's a Patreon. What is that?
That means you're basically like a VIP member, and there's 2 different levels that you can, subscribe to, and you get some perks. You maybe get like merch a little earlier. You get
exclusive merch.
You could get first dibs on signing up for a live show. You get episodes with no commercials.
You get our video because our video is no longer available on YouTube. It is only on Patreon. And the most important to me is you get videos of our live shows. So if you are far away and you couldn't make our last live show, it will be on the website. We're going to record this future live show. It's going to be on Patreon, but also bonus episodes each month. You guys tell us all the time you want more episodes. This is a way for you to get more episodes. So you're going to get our basic Tuesday, Thursdays that we always put out, right? But if you're on a Patreon, you're VIP, you're going to get more.
I can't wait to talk about in detail some more stories because I always have a lot of details I want to go to. I can law-splain. I might read a book.
They just unsubscribed. This is also going to be the exclusive place that Dirty Chat is going to go to. So if that is breaking some of your hearts, just go ahead and subscribe now. In order to hear the full content, it's going to be Patreon. Where do they go again?
Patreon.com/BloodyHappyHour.
Don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline. And this is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour.
Hey y'all, this is April.
Oh, this is Caroline.
It is Turn Up Tuesday, and this is Turn Up Tuesday officially after the live show for us. 2 weeks for y'all.
What a show.
It was fun.
What a night. It was great.
It was great. Shout out to the people, everybody who came. Thank you for always supporting us. And thank you to our listeners that brought us some presents.
Oh, y'all, we got, what was it was like the pineapple drink.
Yes, and I am actually drinking on the ginger ale and the Crown Royal that Isabella brought for us. So thank you, Isabella.
Good.
Thank you, Dina, who brought us the pineapple drink that I think Caroline finished it.
I didn't finish it, but it is still at my house. I should have brought it, but I did not.
But you ain't trying to share anymore.
No, hell no. I'm keeping it all for myself. Be getting greedy.
Wow. How is Caroline not the only child?
I kind of feel like I am sometimes, but
no, actually, I didn't even share that Crown Royal with you, and I drank half of it in the movies. Some of it in the movies yesterday, and I just put the rest in my cup just now. So
what better place to drink it?
Yeah,
except for in the movies.
The show was great. We're so glad y'all came, and we'll just see if we do another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We probably won't. And I'm sure we
say
will.
that every time. We probably won't, but I'm sure we will.
Oh, goodness. That was good. I don't know. I mean, I went way back with my story.
Yeah.
And if you missed it, if you missed the live show, can they watch the live show? Is there a way for them to go watch the live or listen to it if they missed it?
They can watch it and listen to it. Right, Mike? Yeah. It is on Patreon right now. So if you were there and you just want to watch it again, you can go to Patreon. But if you were not able to come and you want to see what our live show looks like, you can go and watch it on Patreon because it is there.
And how do you get on Patreon?
You subscribe.
Oh, you just got to sign up.
.com/BloodyHappyHour. Yeah. And there are 2 levels. There's a $7 level and a $10 level. You get bonus episodes. There's a Wednesday episode that is coming. So if you're a Patreon, you're going to get us on Tuesdays. You're going to get an episode on Wednesday twice a month for the $10 and once a month for the $7. And then you're going to get a Thursday, our normal Thursday episode. But there's no commercials. Anyways, there's all the things. You could break it down and look at it on Patreon. Also, that's where Dirty Chad's going to go. So really soon, the Dirty Chad that everybody heard at the live show is going to go on Patreon. So if you want to hear that, you have to go to Patreon.
You do. You do, guys. I mean, why would you not go there? Why would you not?
Let's shout them out real quick, all the ones that are on there so far.
So far, we have 11 Patreons. We have Michelle with no last name. Michelle, Brittany. What's their last name?
Holy.
Want to say their last name too? Jennifer Pitts. Matt Dixon, Casey Huff, well, it's really Casey Turner. I think she's in my, maybe she just go. Anyway, Stephanie Resendez, Jessica, Dawn Turner, Krista Weishart, Hallie Wilson, Isabella De Sendero, and that's it.
Love it, love it, love it.
So y'all really want to hear about the Dirty Chat, and you're going to get it. Please. You are going to get it. And you can still, so we still have shirt orders. You can go order our shirts.
Actually, it's on the website.
Oh, it's on the website. But we'll put
we'll put it on the Facebook page now. It's not a...
Oh, yeah, because live show got first dibs.
Yeah.
So.
Then it's going to Patreon, and then if you're not on Patreon, it will be on the Facebook page or on our website, BloodyHappyHour.com. Caroline, what's in the news?
Well, did you know about these? Since there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the ocean these days. First of all, the old Titan exploration submersible situation, right?
Yes.
So they recovered pieces of the submersible, which I thought it was disintegrated into nothing.
Yeah. No, we knew they found pieces.
Well, I knew they originally found the legs of it and another piece of it. But based on what I was hearing, I just was everything else just imploded and crumbled into nothing.
Yeah.
But that's not what happened because they found more pieces of it along with human remains.
Yes.
We don't know who they are. We don't know what, but that's all I know right now. That's all I know.
I was listening to one professional that was maybe predicting what your body would do in that situation.
Yeah.
And your body would be more mummified, where I was thinking this is horrible.
No, but I was thinking you just explode and you're like jelly.
Yeah. Yes. But no, you would be more of a mummified state. Don't ask me.
I need a visual.
Go listen to the scientist that was telling us.
I mean, trust the science. Yeah, that's wild. That's interesting. Wow. Well, I wonder if they recovered any phones. That would be wild to know what they were like saying on their phones.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's that. This brought me to orcas.
What, like the whale?
First of all, I did not know that an orca was a killer whale. Like, it's the same thing.
Okay.
I just thought a killer whale was a killer. I'd have never heard orca. I thought orca was like one of those slithering thing, like Ursula's little friends. You know,
The eel?
Eel.
Oh.
Because apparently orcas have been attacking boats. So a TikTok hole. I got into a deep hole. So I wanted to tell you about this orca uprising.
And now a word from our sponsors.
All right, if you love smoothies or if you love your protein in the morning, you need to get you a Blend Jet. You can do that if you go into blendjet.com. If you enter the code BHH12, you get a discount. And let me tell you, these things are portable. They are easy to use. They can fit in your cup holder. You can have it at home or you can have it in your office like I do. Right this morning, I had my blueberry banana one
How was
with
it?
some chia seed.
Wasn't chunky or anything?
It was very smooth. When I have it in my shaker, it is a little chunky. So this is a great alternative.
I love it.
It is battery powered, so all you have to do is plug it in every 2 weeks, and the battery never runs down.
Oh my gosh. I love battery powered things.
Go to BlendJets and order you a BlendJet and get a discount.
Thanks, April, for sharing.
Did you know you could be putting oil and chemicals in your coffee? I love coffee creamer, but I don't think I've ever turned the bottle around to actually see what's inside. When I did, I found out many of my favorite creamers contain ingredients I would never intentionally add to my coffee cup, like canola oil, dipotassium phosphate, ew, and artificial flavors. Laird Superfood all started when big wave surfer Laird Hamilton needed morning fuel that could allow him to spend the entire day chasing the ultimate wave. He couldn't find anything in the market that met his ingredient standards, so made himself the ultimate plant-based creamer. Laird Superfood started and launched its first product, Original Superfood Creamer, in 2015. Laird Superfoods contain no artificial flavors, colors, or additives, and no sugars from highly refined corn syrup. All Laird products are sustainably sourced and thoroughly tested to ensure that you're incorporating the cleanest, finest fuel into your routine. All Laird products are also made of all-natural whole food ingredients, and they are crafted from the highest quality all-natural real food ingredients. Are you ready to feel more energized, focused, and supported? Go to lairdsuperfood.com and add nourishing plant-based foods to fuel you from sunrise to sunset. Use our promo code BOO at checkout to save 15% off your purchase today.
So in Monterey Bay, which is the coastlines of California,
Okay.
there's been this gathering of 30 orcas. And apparently one of the orcas got killed or injured in the rudder of a boat. And so now that mama orca is bringing her gang of orcas to go sink these other boats.
What? Must be a Latina orca.
I mean,
Latina.
For real. And so this got me sucked in. And then I saw that there's humpback whales. Did you hear about these humpback whales that swallow these kayakers?
I have heard nothing about a whale, so I don't know what part.
But I think this humpback whales maybe was a couple of years ago, but I just wanted to tell you about it because these people were on a kayak and their humpback whale literally just comes out of the thing and swallows them. So they're inside of this mouth.
Like Jonah.
Yes. And I was like, did they get a cartoon candle and light it and go search through it and figure out what's in there? But no.
Or tickle the top of its mouth so it'll
the humpback spit them out.
It did spit them out?
Yes, it spit them out. And then they said it was their fault because they were over there, they were getting too close to where they were being fed.
You think they're lying?
I think they were not lying. I think they wanted to go
Did they
and
pull
see.
out their phone and video? You could have.
There were people nearby. Video. It's on video.
Oh,
it's on
okay,
video. Yeah,
okay.
that's how I found it.
Okay.
So yeah.
I
Anyway,
believe anything that's on TikTok video.
oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, they didn't die, but that was close to death, and they were inside of the mouth of the killer whale, of the humpback whale, and they survived.
Wow.
I know.
I don't think a whale would actually chew them up and eat them because they don't even like meat. Their teeth aren't sharp, which I guess the impact could hurt them. But
I think they were just playing. They were just like, oh, hey.
yeah, they just wanted to drink a water, and it just happened to be a canoe in the water they were drinking.
I mean, it's like that's not their fault.
So they were like, I wonder how that got rid of the canoe. Did it come out the hole too?
Well, the huge thing, I think the canoe like went out the side. Like he didn't actually capture the canoe, just like the people, and then he like opened it up, and then they like spit them out. Or something.
He spit them out the mouth and not the hole in the top of the head.
I thought that the killer whale or the orca has the hole because that's like Free Willy.
Not every whale has a hole.
I don't know, a humpback whale.
Oh.
We need to get a whaleologist in here. So if you're a whaleologist, can you come?
Yeah.
This is, by the way, a
student who
true crime and comedy podcast.
My student would know.
Oh, speaking of your student, I also have a fun fact about an animal, but maybe I should save that for the end of the episode.
Okay.
This brings me to the plane crash in the Amazon about those Colombian kids.
That happened just now too?
It happened on May 1st. On May 1st, a small plane carrying 7 passengers was flying over the Colombian Amazon. And then it had engine failure. It nosedives and crashes into the rainforest. It's 2 pilots. It's a mom and her 4 kids.
Oh, no.
The 2 pilots
Are
died.
they millionaires?
No.
Okay.
I don't know what. I don't know. The 2 pilots die immediately. Mom's alive, but she dies 4 days later. She tells the 4 kids to leave her and save themselves.
Okay.
You want to know how old these kids are?
4, 5, and 6.
13, 9, 4, and 11 months.
No.
The 11-month-old celebrated, or the 11th-month-old had their birthday while they were missing.
Turned 1.
Turned 1.
What?
Okay. So they survived on cassava flour, which is something they found on the plane.
Wait, what nationality were they?
These are like Colombian.
Okay.
Colombian. So they survived on this cassava flour that they found on the plane. The 13-year-old came in clutch for the rest of the team because apparently mama had... They had to be familiar with this rain environment. So the oldest kid had knowledge of edible fruits and seeds.
Oh, he had autism. He knew.
I don't know,
not
but
American.
apparently it was passed down from the mama. But also they I saw somewhere they were like indigenous, and so maybe they just knew, familiar with the territory. So this plane crash. Yeah, so they're surviving off of seeds and berries and flour. So they're pretty weak. Obviously, they're wounded. They're getting bitten by insects. This entire time, the people are out looking for them. After 2 weeks, search teams finally find the airplane.
Okay.
Okay, so it's been 2 weeks.
But they're gone.
It's been 2 weeks. They find the wreckage. They find the bodies of the pilots and the mom. And then they're like, okay, where are the kids? So they send out Wilson, the dog.
Okay,
because
Wilson.
the humans cannot find the children. So then they find like signs of life. Like they find footprints, they find like bottles and like just stuff kind of around. And Wilson ends up losing track of his handlers, but finds the kids.
So now we got the damn handlers missing.
So Wilson found the kids, spent time with the kids in the jungle, and then Wilson disappears.
Oh, Lordy. The kids ate Wilson.
And the children are too weak to move from their spot, but rescuers heard a baby crying, went towards the sound of the crying, and all 4 kids were rescued after 40 days.
Oh, Jesus.
40. Now, They were airlifted, sent to the military hospital, and they're said to make a full recovery. The children said that they hid in trees to protect them from the snakes and the mosquitoes and the animals. And when rescuers found them, the oldest ran up to the group and said, "I'm hungry and my mom is dead."
Oh my goodness.
So apparently grandma was like, knew that they would be fine because they knew how to survive.
Okay.
So
damn, these are not American kids.
Oh,
at
hell
all.
no. Because they knew what berries to eat, and they knew that they needed to know these things. I mean, if I would ever went into nature,
No.
I would be like, am I supposed to eat the red or the blue? Am I supposed to eat this? Is this poison ivy? I don't even know what poison ivy. I mean, I'd be like, can I pick this bluebonnet? I don't know. So if you were to ever just drop out of the sky into nature, you would be forced to know. It's a need to know situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, would you eat the
Wow.
blue or the red berries?
I'd probably eat all the berries.
Oh, you gonna die.
I wouldn't think a berry would kill me. I wouldn't eat any mushrooms.
Oh, I would for sure eat the mushrooms. So we need a jungle biologist to come and share life-saving tips. We need an oceanologist to come tell us about whales.
Gosh.
We need all the ologists.
These kids survived 40 days. Did they find Wilson?
Wilson has yet to be found, but apparently they are still on the search for Wilson.
But did they find the other people, the main people that brought Wilson out there?
Oh, the rescuers never were lost. I think Wilson just like kind of took off and was like, oh, like I'm hunting, and he's like sniffing, and he just takes.
Okay.
So he took off to find them. He found them, and then I don't know what. I guess they were just too focused on the kids, and they're like, oh, well, Wilson, where'd you go?
Come on, Wilson.
Wilson probably was like, I really enjoy this forest. I'm gonna go out here. I'm tired of looking for people. I done found 4. Let me go live my life.
Wilson ate the wrong berries.
He probably did, but I'm gonna go with he wanted to leave human, and he found his like a wolf dog that he like married or something. Okay, so Wilson's married. So now for the big stuff. This was all just kind of like this is a palate cleanser.
Okay.
This was just to wet your whistle.
Wow.
And so now we're getting into the big story. Well, okay, Kohberger, there's been some filings, there's been a hearing. It's not too much, but what has happened is basically the defense is coming out and they're like, oh, there's multiple DNA evidence. Like there's 2 more male DNAs that we found. Explain that. Because you are just saying that Kohberger's the only DNA you found. And then they're saying...
Because they were saying
turn
Kohberger's
over
DNA is on that sheath.
Is on the knife sheath, yes. And so they're
button.
like, turn over everything that you have. Well, then the state is like, we have turned over everything we have. So this is let me sum it up. This is what Emily Baker told me. So they're basically saying that the defendant's DNA is the DNA that's on the knife sheath. But here's how we got there. DNA was taken off of the knife sheath. They made profiles of it. They ran that through CODIS, which is the DNA. And so they ran that through CODIS. Nothing hit in CODIS because the defendant's DNA was not in CODIS yet. So then they did the family tree thing and they narrowed in on the defendant. Then they got in the trash. And the trash came back saying that was the father.
Yeah.
And then that's how they got to arrest the defendant. And then they conducted that the DNA that matched the defendant was the DNA on the knife sheath.
Okay.
Now, you may have heard rumors of him having on gloves and digging through neighbors' trash.
Yes.
That was not in the probable cause. That is just alleged from an anonymous source. So if you hear anything that is off of a news channel saying from an anonymous source, that's what I wouldn't trust, because I know there's gag orders, right? But I'm always hesitant to believe what they say because of gag order. So now, if anything is said from an anonymous source, I don't believe it.
And it probably won't be able to be led into the courtroom anyway.
Right. So then you go based on what's the probable cause. And then now the defense is bringing up all these things. And so then I was like, well, I mean, they're putting doubt in my head.
But now they're saying that
But the state says that they turned it all over because after they looked at this, after they got his DNA, like the FBI had it and then they like got rid of it or something. And so that's why they don't have it. And they've given everything over to the defense because they're like, well, we don't have it. Defense got rid or something. That's what.
But there's other people's DNA on the knife sheath or where? Where's their DNA found?
They didn't say where it was found. They just said, like, surely it wasn't like under the dishwasher, right? Like, surely it had, this is assumptions. If they are bringing up 2 other male DNAs, it most likely was in the area where the killings took place. They did not say.
Yeah.
You can just assume that because otherwise, I'm sure there's DNA from tons of guys.
Yeah.
They just had said, they just stated the fact that they found it. They also said that the car was clean, the apartment was clean, like meaning there was no DNA from the victims in there. But that doesn't mean there's no blood, right? I don't know.
In his apartment?
Like they...
In Koberger's apartment.
In Koberger's apartment, no victims' DNA and in his car. But then apparently, there was also an article that said, they saw him thoroughly cleaning his car and bleaching his car and cleaning. But that also is just alleged.
And now a word from our sponsors.
I'm your puzzle pal, and I'm going to tell you about my latest obsession, Wongo puzzles. These things are the real deal, folks. They're high quality, handcrafted, and perfect for anyone who loves a good challenge, but doesn't want to dedicate their entire kitchen table to puzzles for a week. Trust me, I've been there. I might still be there. But I got one of these actually for Christmas. I loved it. I did it, and I was so proud of myself. And they have all these cool designs, and you need to go to wongopuzzles.com and use our discount, BHH. You get 10% off, and I really want to know if you'll order one of these puzzles, what you think about it, because it's so fun, and I need to order like 5.
Cure hydration. If you are obsessed with your hydration like I am, this may be something good for you. This is something that is so easy. Forget about the Gatorade. That just dehydrates you even more. And if you don't like the taste of coconut water, try Cure Hydration. You can go to my offer link. It is zen.ai/BHH20. This is vegan. It's no added sugars. It's just a little packet you could put in your water. Or if you're really smart during happy hour, you could put it into your Tito's. It is just as effective as an IV drip. And if you do not like the taste of water, it's not as boring as water, not as sugary as the sports drink. And if you're an athlete, it'll give you the best performance. Or if you just get brain fog or headaches because you do not stay hydrated.
Brain fog?
Brain fog. The solution is Cure Hydration. So go to that link, enter the code. You can go to my offer link. It is zen.ai/BHH20. Cure Hydration.
So there's a lot of things we don't know. They had a little hearing just like a week ago. And they were supposed to address multiple issues, but they only addressed one issue because they're talking about the gag order and if they can like lighten it up or be more clear on the gag order. But they didn't address that. The judge is still like figuring it out. And then also the cameras, they're figuring that out because the judge doesn't want the camera focused on Koberger the entire time. He wants it focused on whoever's talking because, a lot of times they'll just focus it on the defendant and then I guess it gives a bias,
Yeah.
But and people are like, "Oh, he's clenching his jaw," like we did. Oh, yeah. So hopefully hopefully we get some cameras in the courtroom. But that is yet to be determined. Those are the things that we are waiting on the judge to come back and tell us. So it looks like it's progressing. It's still set to be in October. I highly doubt that it's going to be in October, but that's what they haven't said anything else further than that yet.
Yeah. Huh.
And now the juiciest story of the week is Delphi.
What
Richard
happened?
Allen. Do you know?
No, what happened?
Oh gosh. Okay. So we all know the story of Delphi. If not, I'll give you a very, 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 very brief rundown. Is that this guy, Richard Allen, pled not guilty to the murders of Abby Williams and Liberty?
Yeah.
Libby German. And this was in Delphi, Indiana, and they were hiking on a trail. They were going across a bridge, and they were found. Well, they went missing, and then they found their bodies later, and this was in 2017, and it took them until this year to even have a suspect, even though this guy, Richard Allen, had admitted to being on that bridge on that day with that same type of... And there's video. There's one of the girls took a TikTok video because she felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And she felt a weird vibe, so she took a video. And so in the video, you see the guy walking, and then you hear the guy saying,
Down the bridge.
girls, down the hill.
Down the hill, yeah.
Down the hill. And so obviously the police have more information than that. That's just what they released. And they never released the cause of death. They never released anything of manner, nothing, because they wanted to, keep it close so they could really find the killer. Because, people can always confess and do all that. So just this past week, Allen, so he's pled not guilty. That's been his pleading. And remember we talked about how he started to look really awful in jail, and we were like, what are they doing to him? Blah, blah, blah.
Question his mental health because he's been confined to a small little...
Yes. And this all gets addressed. So he's denied having any involvement in the girls' murders, but then they had a hearing on June 15th. And in this hearing, it was revealed that he's actually confessed to the murders over 5 times. He's confessed to killing them when he was talking on the phone to his wife and to his mom, and he confessed both times. And
while in jail.
Yes,
Yeah.
in April. So while in custody on April 3rd, he was on a call with his wife and admitted, quote, several times that he killed Abby and Libby. And his wife ended the call abruptly.
So we knew before that he had made these confessions, but we didn't know, like,
I didn't know he made... Well, we knew...
Because we told him, and we didn't
knew,
know.
like... Okay, so if this was... The hearing was on the 15th. So last week, did we talk about it?
Well, we talked about it a couple weeks ago that it was said that he has made, since he has been in there, been going crazy, that he has.
So I think it was like the day after this this hearing came out, we found out that he said that he admitted it, but we didn't know any details or anything at all. Then just now they released this like
who and when,
this like 100, I don't know if it's 100 pages or 50, this like huge document of, actually it was 118 pages, unsealed. There's some stuff that's still sealed. There's like 9 pages that are still like sealed, but all of this has been released just now.
Okay.
Like with more details. So they said on April 14th, Richard Allen was evaluated by 2 psychiatrists and a psychologist to see if he needed involuntary medication to be moved to a different unit, and they determined that he did not need anything and he did not need to be moved. After that meeting, and after, okay, so let's see. On the 3rd is when he talked to his wife and told him. So then after that is he started eating and sleeping again, and his behavior returned to normal. So
he had to get that off his chest.
Well, so what they're saying is around this time, April 3rd, whenever he finally like confessed, that's whenever he like went like he broke. Because it's probably the first time that he's actually spoken it. If it's true, he's speaking it now, he can't stop speaking it, and then he's like realizing that he did it and like
Can't take it back.
Can't take it. So then he stopped eating. He stopped because apparently he was eating. He was exercising. He had a tablet that he would use to text and call.
Damn.
And all this stuff. And apparently all of that stuff happened. He deteriorated after he told his wife.
Okay.
But then a couple weeks later is when they're like, okay, we need to get you evaluated because he also started eating paper. Okay. So they were like, okay, we met with him. He's fine. He's starting to eat again. He's starting to sleep again. He's returning to normal. And he began, to return to his normal self. So there was a document filed on April 20th, and they were wanting to evaluate his mental health. And the defense was saying that they don't agree with him being at that facility. And the state is like, well, that's fine. Move him if you want to move him. But apparently the defense is like playing up his mental. And what I read was, the picture that they took that went viral was him looking very frail, and he's cuffed, and he has it looks like drool on his shirt. But they said, well, really, he actually had just got done with the working out, and he was sweating.
Did they give him Ozempic in jail?
I think they gave him Ozempic. Everybody gets Ozempic. So after he had that call with his wife, they filed an emergency motion to do a mental emergency motion for his mental state, blah, blah, blah. We've already talked about that. He had been refusing to eat and sleep. This is what he was doing with the paper. He was getting the paperwork that he was getting from his attorneys. He was wetting it and he was eating it. I mean, I don't know why I think he just then was just wanting to
Let me try
act
to play crazy. Yeah.
And then he broke his tablet that he was making phone calls from. He has still yet to this day has not made any more calls. But I think that that's because his wife is like, okay, you did it, then I'm not going to have your back anymore.
Yeah.
And then today I saw that their house was on Zillow.
Ooh.
She didn't leave it. So April 20th, a document was filed by the prosecutor, and it noted that investigators believe that they heard the sound of a gun being cycled on the video recovered from Libby's phone. So according to the video recovered, one of the victim's phones, Abby or Libby mentioned a gun. So what the issue is there's a bullet that's an unspent round that was found right by their body, meaning it was not shot out of the gun. It was I guess if you cock it and it pops out or something. I don't know guns. But they're thinking that maybe, or from what I heard, maybe there was a little bit of a fight, or maybe she knocked the gun away and a bullet fell out, and maybe that's why there was an unspent bullet that was found.
Ooh, I would picture you pull out a bullet when you spin it and you're gonna scare them with the Russian roulettes. You know what Russian roulette is?
Yeah.
Where you're okay, there's only one bullet in here, and if you scream or if you do this, then one of y'all is going to get this bullet. Or you take the chance or whatever. I'll shoot it at you or I'll shoot it at her, and that's probably how he got them to cooperate. I don't know. That's what I thought of first because you get rid of all the other bullets except for you just leave one that's in the chamber.
But they both die. I mean,
yeah.
But
maybe that's how he got them to the other place, because they don't think that they were killed right there.
Well,
right?
according to the video, there's this video, which we haven't seen all of it, but it's said in this affidavit that Abby or Libby mentioned gun as the man approached them, and then it was a .40 caliber unspent round that was found less than 2 feet away from their bodies, and that unspent round went through a gun that Allen owns.
Okay.
And also what was released, which we did not know about, was that a knife was used in the murder of the 2 girls.
I just need them
And
to
they
hurry up
found
and come up with
several knives at his house, like a ton of knives.
like Catherine Knight collection.
Like hanging over his bed like Catherine Knight. Exactly like Catherine Knight. So on June 13th, a motion was filed objecting to the defense's motion to suppress evidence and seize in a search warrant for his home and blah, blah, blah. Motion to suppress. Oh, they also noted that articles of clothing from the girls were missing from the scene where their bodies were found, including a pair of underwear and a sock.
And then remember the day before they were arresting him, he was burning something in the backyard, wasn't
Yes.
that? So he very well could have been burning some of this.
Yes. So this is on. So then it brings us to present time when it was June 15th when there was the court hearing. Defense attorneys made the confession that Alan was. They're like, oh, these confessions are unreliable because of his mental state, and then they're like, no, bitch, we've already tested his mental state. He's fine. He's playing it up. His trial is scheduled for January 2024.
Gosh.
So there's a whole bunch of stuff there. It's a lot longer in the whole thing. And I mean, I don't know if I'm going to live in Idaho for a little bit, if I'm going to live in Indiana for a little bit. I don't know. Oh, also.
You could do both because.
Yeah. The Parkland. Did you hear about the Parkland cop? Mm-mm. You know, so they're like the Parkland shooting. So.
Which one is that?
The dude who just got sentenced to death, but he didn't get. Well, he got a life sentence. Who killed all those kids? Who killed like 20 kids at the school shooting? Anyway, the Parkland school shooting from Florida. And there was a police officer, and he was, and you know what? All these people's names are Peterson. So it's like another Scott Peterson.
Yeah.
So they were charging him because he did not fulfill his job. Like he like went and hid.
Oh, okay.
Instead of protecting the kids. So they put him on trial. So they tried him. So it was like this whole thing. But they found him not guilty on all charges. All charges, which, I mean, I didn't really watch that. I just heard the verdict. But let me tell you about my final animal fun fact.
Okay.
Execution by elephant was an old method of capital punishment in South and Southeast Asia, particularly in India, where Asian elephants were used to crush, dismember, or torture captives in public executions. The animals were trained to kill victims immediately or to torture them slowly over a prolonged period of time. Most commonly employed by royalty, the elephants were used to signify both the ruler's power of life and death over his subjects and his ability to control wild animals. Death by elephant.
Wow.
I think we should bring it back.
Who would we want to have death by elephants?
Oh, the worst of the worst. The toy box killer, like people who torture people.
Yeah.
Like you need to be tortured and crushed by an elephant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's bring that back.
So I'm here for it. I think I'm going to start a petition.
We can't do it here. We got to send them to Southeast Asia to have that done.
Yeah, I know, but we're bringing them back. That's fine. There's elephant at the zoo, I think. Right?
Good stuff.
So there you go. You're welcome, and you're welcome.
Don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF.
Bye.
Goodbye, visiting angels.
Everybody has a story worth telling. I'm Corey Duncan. On Best Story Ever, I take guests that you know through their most unique and captivating stories. The best part? I hear the story for the first time when you do. Everyone has a story. What's yours? Find Best Story Ever on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Hola, yo soy Jackie.
Y yo soy Jessica.
Y Y esto es Zona del Crimen. Un podcast donde hablaremos sobre casos de crímenes reales
y eventos impactantes que han quedado marcados a través del tiempo. Recuerden que nos pueden seguir en Facebook, Instagram
o donde escuches tus podcasts favoritos.
Hey, I'm Blair.
And I'm Brittany. And we're the host of
By the Cover Podcast.
We cover everything from mysteries, thrillers, romance, chick lit, and even some smut.
Don't forget the smut.
Yeah.
We're so excited to get this thing going and share this with you guys. We've been talking about this for months, and it's finally happening.
Yes.
Special shout out to Rogue Media for helping us with this.
For sure. You can find us on Instagram at bythecover_podcast.
You can also find us on Facebook and TikTok, so don't forget to give us a follow on those too also.
And we are so excited to dive into some of our favorite books and share those with you.
We can't wait. Hope you love it.
Hi, and welcome to Bustles and Bangers with your hostess, Rachel and Christopher.
I love it when you say my name.
And you didn't say hi.
I didn't. You just kept going. I'm going to introduce the book. I'm not reading it. It's because I don't like reading.
Girls like cowboy butts, and those jeans don't hide anything.
Find us on Instagram at Bustles and Bangers or on RogueMediaNetwork.com.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.